Hello hedgehogs, today it's Wednesday and today's story isn't a dinosaur story, but like the dinosaur story we've read before about Katie and the one about pointillism and Georges Seurat, today's story is Katie and the Starry Night because we've done Van Gogh and we made a big picture on the big board outside our classroom of Van Gogh's Starry Night, so I thought you'd like this story today. We didn't get a chance to read this last term. Okay, so let's find the first page. Katie and Grandma love to go on trips together. We know that, don't we? They go on lots. Sometimes for a treat, Grandma took Katie to the art gallery. She does like the art gallery, but things happen to Katie at the art gallery, don't they? One day they went to see some paintings by Vincent van Gogh. Katie's favourite was called The Starry Night, just like ours. It looks magical, she said, like a dream. Talking of dreams, said Grandma, I could do with a nap. Grandma often sits on the bench for a nap, doesn't she, while Katie goes exploring. And look, these are all by Vincent van Gogh. His famous sunflower painting, a self-portrait of Van Gogh himself, and this is his Starry Night one. Katie looked more closely at the picture. The stars seemed to be moving. Grandma was almost asleep, so Katie quietly climbed through the picture frame and into the painting. Oh, look at that lovely picture. Just like the big one we did. The dazzling stars sparkled and swirled. They looked close enough to touch, so Katie reached out and she grasped one. I must show Grandma, she said, putting the star safely into her pocket. Look, just all those swirls. Remember painting that background on our pictures for it? It's beautiful. Jumping back into the gallery, Katie saw some other stars twirling after her. Perhaps they want to play. She laughed, jumping up to catch them, but she couldn't quite reach them. I need something to stand on, said Katie. She saw a picture called Vincent's Chair. That's perfect, she smiled. That's another of Van Gogh's paintings. So she's going to get that, isn't she? Katie quickly dragged the chair out of the picture as more and more stars tumbled out into the gallery from the Van Gogh Starry Night picture. Look, you can see them here and here where she's got her chair now. But even standing on the chair, Katie couldn't quite reach all the stars, and some floated into another picture called Noon. You can see here that it's in a farm or in a field somewhere and people are asleep in the afternoon. She decided to chase after them, so she climbed through the frame again, like she does. Look, and now the Starry Night stars are coming into a different painting. A young couple were napping in the shade on a hot summer's day, just like her grandma. The stars tumbled into the sky, and soon night fell upon the countryside. And they're still having a little nap here. The woman, whose name was Marie, woke up. Oh, look at all those lovely stars, she said. Surely they don't belong in this painting. No, said Katie. Would you help me catch them and put them back in the right one? Climbing up on top of the haystack, Katie and Marie had a wonderful time jumping up and down to catch all the stars and landing softly back into the hay again. But when they jumped back into the gallery, the spinning stars slipped through their fingers once again. They've jumped out of that one, look, and the stars are still here. We must get them back to their painting before the art gallery guard notices they're missing, said Marie. And here she is. She's a bit taller than Katie, so she's trying to catch them. But even Marie wasn't tall enough to catch them. Look, there's a ladder, said Katie, in this picture. Spotting a picture called The Olive Grove, she quickly clambered through the frame again to try and get the ladder. Here you can see the painting, another of Van Gogh's beautiful paintings, and here's the ladder she wants. Women were gathering olives from a tree. Please, can I borrow your ladder? Asked Katie. I have to catch some stars. The ladies laughed at her. Mon chéri, you cannot catch stars? You can with a ladder, said Katie. Come and help me, she said. I wonder if they will. They all raced back into the gallery, and the olive pickers held the ladder steady as Katie climbed up to the top to catch the stars. It was a tricky work because the stars wouldn't keep still. The more Katie tried to catch them, the more they spun away from her. The stars were drifting towards another painting called Fishing Boats on the Beach. Come on, we must catch them, said Marie, and they all climbed inside this one here. Oh, look, right inside the painting, you can see the Starry Night stars and into another painting. In the picture, the stars were caught on a breeze and twirled all their way out to sea. How will we reach them now? Asked Marie. Let's take what do you think? What do you think they might take to go and get them? A boat, I think you're right. Let's take a boat, said Katie. Oh yes, a boat ride, said the olive pickers, giggling away, thinking that sounded great fun. Now look, we have lots of pictures mixed up. Got all sorts of pictures mixed up. They sailed across the sea as the stars sparkled in the sky still. Oh, what shall we do? Worried Marie. The stars are so high in the sky. Katie saw a big fishing net in the boat. Let's try this, she said. They all threw the net as high as they could and caught all of the stars. At last, said Katie, as everyone cheered. Back in the gallery, they all quickly ran to the Starry Night picture. Now we can put the stars back before the guard finds out, said Katie. And there they are with the empty net. All the stars have gone back into the painting. They threw the stars into the sky, but it didn't look quite right. What's that in your pocket? Katie asked Marie. My star, said Katie. I wanted to show it to Grandma. But it might float away again, said Marie. Put it in the Starry Night and then you can see it whenever you want to. So Katie threw the star back into the painting. But she could always go back and look at that painting and see it. Thank you, everyone, said Katie. We did it. And look, the Starry Night is back to its complete picture now. And now we must return to our pictures too, said Marie. Au revoir, mon chéri. Goodbye, said Katie. And off they went with the ladder and the net back to their different paintings. Katie put the chair back where it belonged just in time as the gallery guard came past. Phew, said Katie. Hello, she said to him. Good afternoon, he said. And then Grandma woke up. Oh, I must have nodded off, she said. I had a lovely dream about stars. And Katie giggled, because she actually knows all about the stars, doesn't she? That night, Katie and Grandma looked out of the window. It was a beautiful starry night, just like Van Gogh's painting. The stars look almost alive, said Grandma. Perhaps they are, laughed Katie. Grandma smiled. Perhaps, she said. Good night, Katie. Look, they're having a big hug together and waving at the stars. And that's a lovely story. And here, like the other book we read, it tells you a little bit about Van Gogh. And it says to get creative with Katie. Van Gogh loved to paint the stars. Sometimes he painted outside at night time. He put candles on his hat so he could see what he was doing. That's a very dangerous thing to do. I like the way Van Gogh's stars twirl around, so I painted a starry sky too. Why don't you make a starry sky like this? All you need is to use colours like Van Gogh did. You can paint or use crayons or even collage them. Lots of blues and purples for the sky and yellows and oranges for the stars. And you soon will have create your own masterpiece. Love from Katie. So you could do one like her. You've done that at school, but you could do one at home and show your adults. That would be lovely. It's a lovely story. So tomorrow, back to Dinosaur story. Bye, hedgehogs.